All right, Richard again, and we are going to be talking about how to identify Austrian pine. So again, all three of these trees with the needles are Austrian pines, and as we walk together closer a little bit, so pine species generally like drier soils, so you'll find sand or gravel, not very wet, not very mushy. You won't find them in swamps generally. That's kind of the thing here. So as we walk up to the trunk of the tree, we can see it has this very platy, thin bark. So I don't really want to pick a whole lot of bark off a tree because that's not good for it. But again, you can see these like wafer thin strips, and that's what makes up Austrian pine bark. We'll zoom in on the needle a little bit here, and I'm going to be bad and pick a bunch off. So I was talking before in the kind of leaf and needle, crap, I broke it. In the leaf and needle structure, how pine trees have bunches of needles, and that white pine has 5 bunches. Austrian pines only have 2 needles per bunch. Now, that's not really enough to ID this species. One of the common things about Austrian pine is that it looks very similar to red pine. So you can see here, there might be a little bit of red. You might mistake this for kind of reddish bark, and actually it is reddish bark. And pine needles also have 2 needles per bunch that are about this long and about this kind of like tough and pointy. The differentiating thing between red pine and Austrian pine is that if you take one of these needles and you use the whole thing, you can actually tie this. See if I can do it. Aha! You can tie it into a knot. See that? Red pine, if you were to try and tie it into a knot, it would, let's see if I can make it do it. It'll kind of snap like that, and it'll actually just like clean break. It's way too stiff. So Austrian pine, this is key ID, 2 needles per bunch. You can tie them in a knot. Red pine, 2 needles per bunch, but you can't tie it in a knot.